Welcome to the Revenue Cycle Rundown with KeyBridge Medical Revenue Care. Our live show features respected industry experts that will take us on a deeper dive into today's hottest rev cycle topics. We're glad you're here for the rundown. Let's get started.
Hey folks, welcome to the Revenue Cycle Rundown from KeyBridge Medical Revenue Care. I'm your host today, Brian Garver, reporting live to you from Des Moines, Iowa at the Iowa Hawkeye AAHAM chapter. So couldn't be more excited to be here. This is actually my first time out to Des Moines. And it's funny, one of my friends and coworkers yesterday said, it's interesting. You know, I'm from Ohio, KeyBridge's from Ohio. Folks from Ohio always think that Iowa is nothing but cornfields, and people from Iowa, I've learned, think that Ohio is nothing but cornfields. So interesting. But hey, happy that you're here joining us on Revenue Cycle Rundown, again, live from Des Moines, Iowa with the Hawkeye AAHAM chapter. It's funny, I got out here and I wanted to learn a little bit more about where I was, right? So I Googled a couple things about Iowa, and check this out. Here's some fun facts for you. Number one, did you know that Iowa has the highest literacy rate in the United States? How about that? It's over 99%, and it's number one in the country. Here's another little fun fact about that. These people are smart. Iowa has, it boasts, I should say, the highest ACT and SAT scores in the nation as well. And that's an ongoing thing. So sharp people over here, as evidenced by this little fun fact I read about today, kind of blew me away. One of the other cool things I learned about Iowa is that there's 4 times as many farm hogs in Iowa as there are people. As a matter of fact, Iowa has a population of 3 million people, also has a population of 12 million hogs. So there you go. So I want to just give you a quick rundown. We're going to keep this short and sweet today. I'm excited to report live from the event, as I said. Leanne Christensen, Audra Ford, Carrie Kennan, they were the folks from the Iowa chapter that invited me to come out. Carrie had heard me speak at the AAHAM annual event last year. It was virtual. And she's like, you know, she reached out and asked me if I could come to their spring event. It's been greatly attended. Lots of folks here from providers all over Iowa. Just couldn't be more excited. You know, I wanted to share with you something that was really interesting. The first speaker today was from Medicare, and it was regarding Medicare claims, rejections, denials, appeals, depression screening for both Part A and Part B. This is something that I'm still learning a lot about in the healthcare revenue cycle space. And, you know, mental health and mental health care is such a critical component to what we're living with today. And I really was fascinated by some of the data and facts that she shared. Her name is Mary Muchow. She's been in that space with Medicare for over 40 years. And then also Rachel Wood, who's a clinical RN, also with Medicare, was there to assist too. But, you know, since 2003, the cause of rejections and denials with Medicare haven't changed much. So think about that for a second. You know, the rejections and denials that are happening in Medicare for 20 years now are kind of the same. That tells me there's opportunity, right? We've got opportunity in the healthcare industry, our providers, to sharpen the saw, right? We can do this, and we can get first pass through on a more consistent way. And we can also handle these claims, these rejections, these denials more quickly if we have the right tools and we understand the right processes. That's continued to evolve and get better in the industry too. There's a website at the bottom of the screen there you can see. It's WPSGHA.com. What a fantastic free website and free portal for providers to use. The portal basically is a self-service denial assistance tool. So check it out. All you have to do is register to use it. Again, it's totally free. What I found interesting as well was that some of the most common rejections, again, have been the same over the last 20 years. One of them is multiple observation overlap. That continues to be over and over and over a rejection piece. Another one was hospital overlapping with outpatient services. That overlap continues to be a rejection point. And then also medical necessity, right? That continues to be a high cause of denials. One of the things they talked about was the importance of documentation to avoid that medical necessity denial. You almost have to over document, right? Really be sure that you're telling the full patient story in that documentation. The past, the present, the future, the what, the why, the how, all that has to be documented. So if we over document on things that have medical necessity, we're going to do a pretty good job of avoiding some of those denials and rejections. Speaking about mental health and mental health awareness, we just had Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's really a hot topic because it's so needed. Here's some things that I learned today that I wanted to share. In the Medicare population, 65 and older, right? 1 in 6 people suffer from depression. And I have parents in that age group, a lot of friends, family in that age group, and we're serving as a healthcare industry, the folks, the community, the patients in that age group. And often this depression occurs with other illnesses. See, when our mental health is impacted, I learned that it often impacts our physical health as well, driving up medical needs, medical care costs, visits by these patients, all these things. Another thing I learned that, and this was shocking to me, really shocking, and I did not know this, but older adults in that Medicare population, 65 and older, they have the highest rate of attempted suicide in the nation. I always thought it was teens, but I learned that it's actually 65 and older. So detecting and assessing mental health is critical, and then caring for those patients is critical. One thing that we're seeing Medicare really make a shift and a move on is caring for those patients, utilizing more telehealth. They're looking to promote that, use that, reimburse that. And that's a big win for the patient. It's a big win for you healthcare providers out there, and excited to see what's happening on that whole front. So if you haven't before, check out that website, wpsgha.com. It's free. It's a great portal. It'll help you work through those denials and rejections. It's all on there. So check it out if you would. The next thing I wanted to touch on was a presentation that was given this morning by Amy Sherman. Amy Sherman has been in the healthcare provider world for many, many years, all of it on the patient access front end. And she's just a wealth of knowledge, but she gave a presentation on the 5 pieces of effective servant leadership. She did a great job. And the 2 things that I wanted to share that I think are great takeaways for all of us. Number 1, how gratitude really impacts us as leaders, right? An attitude of gratitude is not a mistake. It's an intentional thing that we should do. And it does impact how we come across to our teams, how we lead, how we communicate, how we inspire, how we motivate, how we engage. When we do it out of an attitude of gratitude, it takes on a whole nother dynamic and achieves much better results and engagement and lift with our team. So I wanted to pass that on because it's hard. It's a challenge for all of those leaders to get out of the weeds and reflect, right? Really reflect on the gratitude we have. Also, learning from our pain points as leaders. That's one of the things she really hit home that I loved. We learn the most during the most difficult times, right? The most painful times are when really we're growing and learning and adapting and changing the most too. So some really cool stuff there from Amy. So thanks, Amy Sherman. Well done. And then just earlier this afternoon, I gave one of our master classes to this group called Transitioning Your Team into a Performance Powerhouse. And I love this masterclass. It's about the science behind why some teams thrive. They overachieve. They do it ahead of schedule. They do it under budget. They just shock people with their performance, while other teams work hard, they try hard, they splash a lot, but sometimes fall short of the results that they want. And there's science now, documented evidence of why that happens. What does this team have over this team? Why does this team perform better than this team? So we dug in deep. It was a fantastic session. And I'll share with you a couple pieces that were really the home runs there. Number 1, psychological safety. Psychological safety is what psychologists call this. And it's from many, many studies, it's been listed now as the single greatest correlate of a team's success. It's not in the top 10. It's not number 8. It's not top 20. It's the single greatest correlate of a team's ability to gel and have success, psychological safety. Get with me sometime. I'd love to share with you the quick, easy steps to achieving psychological safety. It's not as hard as we think, and I'd be happy to help and share that with you. The other one is servant leadership, which Amy talked today about. But servant leadership is a unique methodology of serving and leading. And basically, in essence, it's about caring. It's about getting into the trenches with our people and our team. It's being a participant with our team members and helping them achieve what they do, not a bystander that just manages metrics, which often happens in healthcare, right? Leaders, we get sucked into the metrics. Servant leadership's about getting out of that, doing it still. We have to have the metrics, but stepping out of our comfort zone, getting in the trenches, finding where our team needs us and assisting them, helping them grow, helping them get better, and also having real quality engagement with our team too. Finding out, are they happy? Are they fulfilled? What can we do different? How can we be better? Getting their input. That's servant leadership. So with that, folks, again, I just want to remind you, check us out. keybridgemed.com HPT is where you can go to find the presentation that I gave. And if you go to keybridgemed.com/HPT for high performing teams, by the way, you'll get the complete PowerPoint presentation that I gave today on high performing teams. It'll show the science, the data. There's also links to some fabulous videos that you'll be able to share with your teams about high performing teams. So enjoy that. With that, I just want to wrap up and close. Be sure to check us out at revenuecyclerundown.com. Again, it's revenuecyclerundown.com. It's on your screen. Go there to register for future events like what we're doing now so that you'll be alerted on LinkedIn of when we're going live, what events we're going to be at, what events we're hosting. So have a great day. Reporting live from Iowa, I'm Brian Garver from Keybridge. Have a great day, folks. Take care. Bye now.